The question says correct order of dipole moment of alkyl halides is. We have to find the order of dipole moment of alkyl halides. Okay, and about the dipole moment, we have learned a dipole moment mu is equal to q into d. Dipole moment depends on the magnitude of the charge as well as the distance between the atoms. Okay, since we are finding out the dipole moment about alkyl halides, means carbon hydrogen bond is there. Okay, we have carbon fluorine is there, carbon chlorine, carbon bromine is there, and carbon iodine is there. In general, what we have learned, when we move from top to bottom in a group, as the size of elements increases, magnitude of the charge decreases, and when the magnitude of the charge decreases, so dipole moment also decreases. You can see in this case we are having the regular trend. Here we have regular trend. Iodine is having highest larger size, so in this case what will happen, the magnitude of the charge will be less, and then it will have a higher tendency to get polarized. You might have learned in Fajan's rule. Okay, higher tendency to get polarized. Okay, so since it is having the larger size, that's why magnitude of the charge very less, and hence the dipole moment is also very less. Okay, now we come to these two halides are there. Okay, pay attention very carefully. If you look at the size of these atoms, you can see carbon is present in the second period and fluorine is also present in the second period. Okay, both are having a smaller size, and when the smaller size is there, proper fitting will be there, hence bond length will be very small. Okay, bond length will be very small. So bond length is very small, then dipole moment will be decreasing. Okay, because dipole moment is depending on the bond. We have bond length. Okay, the bond length, the distance between the atoms increases, so what will happen, dipole moment will be increasing. Another point, you can see fluorine is having how many lone pair? It is having 3 lone pair are there, and since it is smaller in size, you can see this bond length is also very small. So in this case you can see it is also having 2 electrons are there, bond electrons. You can see a bond pair electrons, these are the lone pair electrons. Okay, since they are very closer to each other, so repulsion will be very high. Repulsive force is very high because they are very closer to each other. Okay, when the repulsive force increases, so what will happen in this case, dipole moment will be decreasing. But in this case you can see Cl is having enough larger size, so even if lone pair are there, 3 lone pair, in this case bond pair electrons are there, repulsion is not as much as in case of carbon fluorine bond. Okay, here we have repulsion less in comparison to this one. And even if we talk about the distance, since it is having larger size, distance will be higher in comparison to carbon fluorine bond. Hence the dipole moment for carbon Cl is supposed to be higher than carbon fluorine. So order we got carbon Cl, then we have carbon fluorine, and here we have got the regular trend, Cbr is there, and then we have Ci is there. Okay, this is the order we get. Okay, so very interesting question. We got which options? Option C is correct. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to the channel.